Most insurance agents don't have a lead problem. They have a time problem disguised as a lead problem. I'm going to show you how I've helped over 350 agencies improve their time management. And we didn't do it by magically adding time to those agencies' days. The difference is a system to get more out of your existing hours. Have you ever had one of those days where you feel like you were doing stuff all day, but then it just feels like a whirlwind at 5 p.m. And then you look up and realize you didn't really hit your goal. And maybe you were working all day, but had no sales. Or maybe you quoted a bunch of people, spent a ton of time talking to prospects, then looked at your call log and realized you only made 15 calls for the day. I've been there too, but that ends today. When I first started juggling a family, helping run a top 10 agency, producing at a high level, and launching my training company, I often felt overwhelmed. It felt like there was so much to do and not enough time. Easing off the gas even a little always ended up being a costly mistake. I had no choice but to figure out how to control my time, not just manage it. And what I realized is that successful people don't magically slow down the clock. They simply set unbreakable rules for how they spend their time. In this video, I'm going to give you that exact step-by-step system to stop wasting time on low-value tasks and refocus every minute of your day on what actually makes you money: selling. We're going to cover my 6-level prioritization framework that tells you exactly what to work on at any given moment. We'll go over our non-negotiable win-today goals that guarantee a productive day, and I'll break down the biggest time savers you're probably ignoring that'll free up hours in your week. Let's get into it. First, to get better at time management, you have to accept the fundamental truth. You can't make any more time. There are only 24 hours in the day. Whether you're a billionaire or you don't even have 2 nickels to rub together, you have the same 24 hours. It just depends on what you do with them. The belief that you need more time is what's holding you back in the first place. I used to think if I just had a few more hours, I could get it all done. But if you're overwhelmed and constantly looking for extra hours, the problem isn't a lack of time, it's that you're not maximizing the hours you already have. It's like giving someone with financial problems more money. They got there because of how they were using their money in the first place. It's not going to help them, it's just going to fuel the fire. You simply have to do more with the hours in your day. The real problem is randomness. Most salespeople let their day be run by chaos. An email comes in, they work it. A service task pops up, they work it. A customer calls in with a question, they answer it. Everything feels like a priority, and when everything's a priority, nothing gets done. That's why in our agency, we live by a rigid, non-negotiable prioritization framework. It's a simple list that tells every person on our team what the most valuable use of their time is, from the most important to the least important things they could do. This is the system that takes the guesswork out of your day and eliminates those whirlwind days for good. Now, I know it can be overwhelming to remember what to prioritize when you're in the middle of a chaotic day. So to make it even easier for you, I've taken the 6 priorities I'll be going over and put them in a simple 1-page PDF I call the Sales Prioritization System. It's a visual reminder of exactly what you should be doing at any given moment. You can print it out, tape it to your monitor, and never have to guess what the most valuable use of your time is ever again. The link to download it is free right in the description below. Go grab that now so you can follow along. All right, let's break down the system from top to bottom. These are the money-making activities you should be doing in the order of priority. Priority number 1 is talking to a prospect. This one's kind of a natural one. If you're on the phone with a living, breathing human who could potentially buy from you, you don't want to hang up to answer an underwriting email. You stay on the call. That person is priority number 1. Priority number 2 are new leads. This is where people start to mess up. Any new leads that have come in and not have been worked is priority number 2. You drop whatever you're doing and you go straight to working that new lead. I don't care if you're doing open heart surgery. If a new lead comes in, you are moving to that new lead. The underwriting email can wait. That quote for your friend can wait. The new lead cannot. In our office, we have a Teams notification that dings the entire office every time a new lead comes in. And when a new lead comes in, it's like seagulls on a beach when someone drops a French fry. When we hear that Teams notification, everybody scrambles. Speed is king, and calling the lead within the first 5 minutes increases your chance of closing by 900%. That's why it's priority number 2. Priority number 3 is following up on prospects we've spoken to and quoted. If you aren't talking to a new prospect and you aren't working any new leads, this is the next best thing to be doing. These are the people you've already had a conversation with. You've gone over a quote, and now the next call is meant to close them. This is also the time when you should be finishing up any quotes you promised to someone. These are your hottest opportunities that are already in the pipeline. Priority number 4 is following up on new leads inside of their marketing window. These are the new leads that have come in. They've been worked by you or someone in your office, but no one has spoken to them yet. Depending on your state, you have a 30, 60, or 90-day window to contact them. These are the next best people to be working after the ones you've already quoted. They're still relatively warm and should be prioritized over anything else. Priority number 5 are service tasks, underwriting tasks, and non-sales emails. Now, some of you are probably thinking, George, this is way too low on the list. We're getting buried in underwriting emails right now. I get it, but here's the reality. Those tasks, especially emails, have a way of taking up whatever time you give them. If you give them an hour, they'll take an hour. If you give them all day, they will take all day. So what I recommend you do is almost procrastinating them. Force those tasks into a corner at the end of the day, and when the real selling activities are done, we can bang them out quickly. That pressure forces the efficiency, which brings me to a huge time-saving tactic that directly impacts his priority: writing business cleanly the first time. My father-in-law, Chad Birch, always says, do it right, do it light, do it wrong, do it long. What he's really saying is, just write it clean, everybody. A household is written cleanly if you can move on without getting an underwriting email, a missing signature email, or a request for required documents. Get all the signatures done on the call. Get the billing authorization done while you're still on the phone. Do not get off the phone without getting any of these things done. It might feel awkward, but who loves chasing down signatures? Nobody. The cleaner you write the household, the more time you spend on the front end doing it right, the fewer of the time-sucking priority 5 tasks you'll have in the first place. Priority number 6 is calling old leads. The old stuff, the recycled stuff, the lists you run like defectors or X-dates. Only after you've done everything in priorities 1 through 5, now you can go to find more people to talk to. This is the next best place to go when all of the hot and warm leads are done and all of your underwriting tasks are done. This framework is your roadmap. But there's another piece to this that saves us more time than anything else: the one call close. I hear it all the time from salespeople. They get an objection, they feel uncomfortable, so they just set another appointment. Here's what I want you to know. Your inability to close will not be solved by setting another appointment with the person. If you set another appointment because you're bad at closing, you're just adding unnecessary time to the deal, and time kills deals. That's why 95% of the households we write are written on the first call. Chasing people down takes way too long, and people forget things much faster than you think and even they think. After one day, a prospect has already forgotten 90% of what you've said. After 72 hours, they've forgotten 99% of what you've said. Trying to close them on a second or third call just becomes an uphill battle. If you close it on the first call and write it cleanly, you get to use that extra time you just saved to work on your next deal. And while you're at it, closing them on the first call, you should be multi-lining them on the first call. It's so hard to get someone on the phone nowadays, and with AI screening, it's only going to get harder. If you single line 5 people and just write the auto, that's 5 apps. But if you multi-line those same 5 people and write auto and fire, you've now doubled your production to 10 apps with the exact same amount of people you spoke to. So now you can do more with the hours you already have. Now, having a priority list is great, but how do you actually know at the end of the day if you were actually productive? How do you know if you've won? This is where our win the day framework comes in. These are our non-negotiables in the office. To have what you consider a good day or to win the day that's tracking towards a good month, you have to do at least one of these 4 things. Like make 120 calls, which a double dial still counts as 1 call, get 6 household quotes, raw new quotes for new clients you're trying to bring on, or writing 6 apps, or writing 1 financial service like a life or a health policy. You just have to do one of those 4 activities. And our personal rule is we're not going home until we're doing at least one of them. Now, some of you might be thinking, that's more than I'm doing right now. And well, that's kind of the point. Others might think, I don't know how I could ever find the time to do that, but you find the time by following the prioritization system we just went through. You stop wasting time on things that don't matter, and you focus only on the activities that lead to one of those 4 outcomes. These win the day goals are for a straight sales role too. So if you are maybe more of a hybrid role doing sales and service, you just cut these goals in half. But the principle is the same. Have a clear, measurable target for what a successful day looks like in your office. So if there's one thing you take away from this, it's this. You don't need more time. You need a better system for prioritizing the time you already have. Stop reacting to everything that's thrown at you each day and start focusing only on the activities that pay you. Prioritize the money-making activities. Set non-negotiable daily goals for yourself so you can win the day, and close the deal on the first call cleanly so you can move on to the next one. That's how you stop feeling busy and start feeling productive. If you want to go deeper and get the exact scripts and processes that allow our team to do this day in and day out, to have these holistic conversations and close deals on the first call, then you need to check out trainwell.co. It's the training I wish I had when I started, and it breaks down everything we do at our top 10 agency. The link is in the description, and now that you know how to manage your time, you need to know exactly what to say when you get someone on the phone. That's why you need to watch this next video on the perfect sales process that will give you all the questions to ask to have a better conversation and increase your odds of closing on the first call. Thanks for watching.